Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao together with the Presidential Communications Office.
We bring you the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news coverage from the People's Television, IBC, Philippine News Agency, Philippine Information Agency, and Presidential Broadcast Service. I'm Princess Habiba Saripauda.
And I'm Joe Fernandez. We are from Radyo Pilipinas. Welcome to Balitang Pambansa. Tonight's headlines. Senate President Francis Escudero reiterated that the upper chamber will adhere to the Constitution when handling the impeachment case against Vice President to ensure fairness. Lower house leaders believe that the case filed against Speaker Martin Romualdez is a mere ploy to divert the attention from the impeachment case against the second highest government official. The Department of Agriculture, or DA, eyes the rollout of more affordable National Food Authority, or NFA, rice next week. The Department of Labor and Employment Secretary Benvenido Leguesma says that the foreign visits of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. have generated more than 200,000 jobs for Filipinos. Data from the Philippine National Police, or PNP, shows that the number of gun ban violators continue to rise. It took the House 2 months to officially submit an impeachment complaint, so it cannot insist on rushing the Senate to begin the trial because the jurors/senators need time to review the House's complaint. In a presser earlier today, Senate President Francis Escudero promised a fair trial on both sides and allayed fears and worries of a perceived danger of the impeachment process, as we hear the full report from our Daniel Manalastas.
Senate President Francis Escudero thumbs down the idea of asking the president for a special session, as some ex-lawmakers suggest the special session is a remedy for the Senate to start the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte immediately and without delay. But the Senate President have no intentions requesting the President.
I have no intentions of requesting the President for a special session. Hindi ito isa sa mga bagay na dahilan para magpatawag ng special session ng Senado. Dagdag po dito, sino bang may gusto na mag-special session kami at mag-trial kami bago mag-eleksyon? Sino mang pro-anti-VP Sara, hindi namin papakinggan. Susundan namin kung anong tinatalaga ng batas. Bakit ko iibahin ang pagtrato dito sa impeachment complaint na ito? Hindi ito espesyal, hindi ito kakaiba. Ang tingin dapat namin dito, ordinaryong impeachment complaint lamang laban sa isang impeachable officer.
Escudero believes the impeachment trial might commence after the SONA of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Most likely when the new Congress already enters into its function. That means after SONA.
Escudero added the impeachment process should not be perceived as a dreadful event because it is in accordance with the rule of law. He also addressed a hypothetical scenario in the event those who signed for impeachment, particularly House lawmakers, are likely to lose from public or voter backlash in the May midterm polls, might not able to win the coming elections.
Again, that is a subject matter for the impeachment court to decide. Kung less than 1/3 na lamang yung nanalo, matapos na eleksyon ito natatawid sa 20th Congress, if the proper motion will be made by either side, pagpapasa ng impeachment court yan.
For now, a copy of the impeachment complaint has been conveyed to the senators, and they will be given ample time to study and review the complaint. From PTV Manila, Daniel Manalastas, Balitang Pambansa.
A complaint has been filed before the Ombudsman against House Speaker Martin Romualdez and other House leaders for alleged falsification of public documents and violating the Anti-Graft Act of the 2025 national budget. The complainants include Representative Pantaleon Alvarez, claimed the illegal insertion amounting to 241 billion pesos. The respondents say the case is politically motivated or related to the impeachment of Vice President Sara Duterte, but Alvarez insists that issues are unrelated.
Magkahiwalay yan. Kasi iba naman yung impeachment, ibang usapin yun. At ito, criminal case ito, ibang usapan dito.
Several lawmakers defended House Speaker Martin Romualdez and other House leaders against criminal charges filed before the Office of the Ombudsman on Monday for the alleged falsification of public documents and violation of anti-graft and corrupt practices on the 2025 national budget. PTV's Mela Lismoras reports.
Kung ako ang tatanungin nyo, ito po'y klarong diversion lamang sa mga issues. Kasi kung iisipin mo, ang tagal na nilang pinag-uusapan yung budget, bakit ngayon na nila naisipan pag-file ng cases pagkatapos na i-transmit ang impeachment sa Senado. So clearly there is an effort to downplay the move of the House to transmit the impeachment to the Senate and also divert the attention ng ating mga taong bayan ukol sa totoong issue na dapat sagutin ng kabilang kampo.
Here's what House Assistant Majority Leader Jude Asidre said after House Speaker Martin Romualdez and others were slapped with complaints for allegedly falsifying public documents and violating the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act in connection with the 2025 national budget. Asidre asserted how the timing of the complaint filing was suspicious, seemingly intended to divert attention from the impeachment issue against Vice President Sara Duterte. The Young Guns Group shares the same view on the matter. According to House Deputy Majority Leader Paulo Ortega, the complaint allegedly has no basis, so the House Leader should not be used as a scapegoat for the controversy being faced by the Vice President. House Assistant Majority Leader Jay Kong-hoon, for his part, even called this move by the opposition a desperate move. Meanwhile, House Committee on Justice Vice Chair Jervil Luistro emphasized that while everyone has the freedom to file any complaint, the House leadership has always been prioritizing the welfare of the Filipino people in every bill or resolution they pass.
Well, what I can say about Speaker, ang iniisip niya is yung ikagagaling ng sambayan ng Pilipino. Ito naman ay kalayaan ng bawat isa to resort to the legal remedies, pero I just want to express that as member of the majority bloc, that is Lakas CMD, no, which is the majority bloc in the House of Representatives, the 19th Congress of the Philippines. I can personally say na lahat ng mga naging legislative actions ng 19th Congress through the leadership of Speaker are anchored on uplifting the lives of Filipino citizens.
For now, the House Prosecution Panel continues to prepare for the highly anticipated impeachment trial against the Vice President, although no final date has been set for its commencement. From PTV, Melalas Moras, Balitang Pambansa.
The campaign period for candidates running for senator and party list in the 2025 midterm elections officially begins tomorrow. However, Representative Wilbert Lee of Agri Party List withdrew his candidacy for senator today, citing personal reasons. Despite his withdrawal, the Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, clarified it would have no impact on their preparations, and Lee's votes, if received, would be considered stray votes. Meanwhile, the COMELEC reminded the candidates to follow rules on poster size and locations, ensure materials are environmentally friendly, and remove illegal posters to avoid disqualifications or penalties.
Masakit man sa kalooban, pero ito po yung napagpasiyahan dahil nakita ko po sa aking pag-iikot, sa aking pakikipag-usap, napagtanto ko na talagang kulang po ang oras at kulang po ang aking makinarya.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has appointed 2 new Commission on Elections, or COMELEC commissioners, to replace those who retired. The president appointed Attorney Norina Tangaro Casingal, a former COMELEC Law Department Director, and promoted Ilocos Region COMELEC Director Attorney Noli Pipo to poll body commish. The 2 new appointees replace retired commissioners Socorro Inting and Marlon Casquejo. Because of this, COMELEC Chairperson George Erwin Garcia is confident that the poll body's preparation for 2025 midterm elections will be boosted. He also thanked the president for appointing poll body insiders. Meanwhile, candidates seeking elective office in May's midterm elections begin to go on the stump tomorrow. And the women and men of the PNP also go on active service to man checkpoints nationwide to keep the peace and order, especially in election hotspots and areas of concern. Orion Lisiges has more on a couple of PNP requests when motorists go under inspection at checkpoints starting mañana.
The security deployment of the Philippine National Police or PNP is all set for the start of the campaign period for national candidates tomorrow. PNP spokesperson and Police Regional Office 3 Director, Police Brigadier General Jean Fajardo said that in addition to checkpoints, they will deploy a sufficient number of personnel, especially in the 403 areas identified by COMELEC as areas of concern.
Asahan po natin na yung security coverage po natin doon sa mga inaasahan pong influx ng mga national candidates po natin from the National Capital Region down to Visayas and Mindanao po ay nakaredy po yan. At bilang paghahanda nga po ay magdadagdag po tayo ng mga tauhan po natin doon sa mga areas at sa mga engagement areas.
The PNP reminds police personnel manning checkpoints to be cautious when flagging down motorists, as the number of vehicles passing through is expected to double once campaign sorties begin. The PNP also appeals to candidates and their supporters who will be passing through checkpoints.
Respetuhin po yung mga umiiral po na checkpoints at lagi nating sinasabi, bagamat humihingi tayo ng paumanhin dahil nga this would somehow cause some inconvenience on their part and probably some delays, but it is being implemented po para na rin po sa kasiguraduhan at kaligtasan po ng lahat.
Meanwhile, even before the March deadline set by PNP Chief Police General Romel Francisco Marbil to disband active and potential private armed groups or PAGs in the country, the only remaining PAG in Central Luzon has already surrendered to Police Regional Office 3. The Ginto Group turned over various firearms and ammunition, which will go through a verification process to ensure they were not used in any criminal activities. However, despite the surrender of the leader and their weapons, they will still undergo a process before being removed from the list of private armed groups.
It is not enough for any private armed groups or potential private armed groups na magpakita in the open sa ating mga kapulisan, kundi we cannot just accept their intention, hook, line, and sinker without their intention na isurrender to mga barel. So napakaraming barel pong sinurrender, pati po mga bala. So this is a good start and we hope na by March 31 po ay gumulong na po yung proseso for the possible delisting and disbanding of these private armed groups.
According to PNP records, beside the Ginto Group in Nueva Ecija, there are also active PAGs in Negros Oriental and Sulu in Region 9. Meanwhile, 5 other groups are identified as potential PAGs in Region 1, 2, 4A, Region 8, and BARMM. In the latest PNP report, COMELEC checkpoints have reached 186,000 with one recorded election-related incident. From PTV Manila, Ryan Lisiges, Balitang Pambansa.
The Philippine National Police or PNP reported more than 700 violators were arrested in the implementation of the Commission on Elections checkpoint nationwide. Based on the latest data of PNP, over 600 civilians were mostly arrested from the checkpoint. Moreover, almost 700 firearms were seized during their operation. According to Police Regional Office 3 Director of Police Brigadier General Jean Fajardo, it is necessary to seize loose firearms to have a peaceful midterm elections. As of now, the PNP is implementing 100 days of comprehensive security plan to have a peaceful campaign and elections.
On the other news, as part of the implementation of the food security emergency, the Department of Agriculture or DA said on Monday that the National Food Authority or NFA expected to roll out its cheaper priced rice to more than 50 local government units or LGUs by next week. PTV's Clay Partilia tells us more.
The price of rice at Christopher's Rice Store in Galas Market has dropped significantly since the implementation of the maximum suggested retail price for rice.
Dati po, 65 po yan. Ngayon, 58 na lang. Yung mga nagsusupply din sa akin, binabadi naman nila.
However, Joy and Lordy are still on the lookout for even cheaper options to save money. The affordable rice offered by the National Food Authority, which will be sold at 35 pesos per kilo.
Malaking tulong na po para sa amin yun, yung mga ganong presyo.
Saan mo gagamitin yung matitipid mo?
Siyempre, di sa ulam, pandagdag ng pambili sa mga iba-iba pang mga kailangan natin.
According to the Department of Agriculture, 50 local government units have confirmed their intent to purchase NFA rice for distribution or sale to their constituents. The big question remains, when will the NFA rice be released?
May documentation na kailangan gawin, ano? So, hopefully matapos lahat ng documentations between FTI, NFA to FTI, FTI to LGU, And by next week, maro-roll out na hopefully yan. Thank you.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has instructed the Department of Agriculture to monitor pork prices, with current rates ranging from 345 to 480 pesos per kilo. The Agriculture Department is considering the implementation of an MSRP for pork before the end of February.
The farm gate ngayon is 240 to 250. Hinahanap ko na sana punta 100 piso no? na gap na nakikita ko Well, anything above 400 I think is unreasonable.
To curb rising prices of onions, the Agriculture Department has approved the importation of 4,000 metric tons of onions. Simultaneously, the agency is cracking down on agricultural smuggling. 16 importers with ties to agricultural smuggling have been listed or now banned from importing products. 4 cases have been filed. From PTV Manila, Kalaizal Portilla, Balitang Pambansa.
More than 200,000 jobs for Filipinos were generated from the foreign visits of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. According to Department of Labor and Employment Secretary Benvenido Benin Laguesma, jobs from power, renewable energy, and electronics manufacturing will be available to Filipinos. The labor chief also assured that the government will secure more investments and create additional employment opportunities for Filipinos. Last month, Dole organized a job fair with Job Street, where 18,000 job seekers like students and even professionals looking for more quality means of living benefited from the event.
Siya ni Rodrigo Pescoso Jr. nga taga Lapog Bilyabsyo sa Abra. 50 years nga nagtatalo na kon. Kat kasi na po Diyos isumad na ito iti nakatulong kanya ng pabasa kalagat tiya italungan anak ko. Kat kasi na po Diyos nakagrade war dami ng ti college sen. Inuran mi iti 15 years nga naala dito nga titulo. Adumatan na itulong na dito nga daga nga kwan. Nanganan mi, pagmulmulaan mi tinateng, pagmulmulaan mi ti mais, inumami pa ti kabakiran na nga ko, pagmulaan ti pagay.
10 ARBs, including the Pescosa family, received e-titles for 5.9463 hectares from Tangbao, San Isidro, Abra.
Agyaman kami apo, Presidente Marcos, kin Secretary Estrella, iti daytang nga naitad kada kami nga titulo nga libre. Daytang nga titulo kat nakanakan kada kami. Ami nga problema na uti makagaw kada kami tapo kami daytang.
The Philippines could benefit from the ongoing U.S. trade war between the U.S. and other countries by positioning itself as an alternative source of exports to arguably the most powerful nation in the world, according to NEDA Undersecretary Rosemary Edilion. The country stands to gain from a strengthened regional trading regime, especially as American tariffs on imports might prompt shifts in trade dynamics. NEDA explains to continue supporting the government's economic transformation agenda, focusing on growth through innovation and strategic investments. Meanwhile, the Department of Health, or DOH, reported the Philippines recorded nearly 28,000 dengue cases in the first month of the year. Recorded from January 1 to February 1, 2025, the number of cases is 40% higher compared to the same period of the previous year. Early signs and symptoms of dengue include fever that can reach 40 degrees Celsius, rashes, and headaches. Meanwhile, the Department of Health advises consulting a doctor immediately if one experiences such symptoms.
Sa mga mas advanced na cases ng dengue, mas severe cases, merong pagdurugo sa gilagid. Pwede rin yung dumi, yung ating dumi nag-iiba ng kulay, nagiging itim.
Preparations are underway in anticipation of the kickoff of the Alyansa para sa Bagong Pilipinas Proclamation Rally tomorrow at the Centennial Arena in Lawag City, Ilocos Norte. Philippine Information Agency Ilocos Norte's Emma Guillermo has more.
Preparations are underway in anticipation of the kick-off of the Alyansa para sa Bagong Pilipinas Proclamation Rally tomorrow at the Centennial Arena in Lawag City, Ilocos Norte. The rally is expected to be attended by all senatorial candidates under the administration party. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is also set to attend tomorrow's rally to show support for the candidates. Preparations are being led by the Alyansa organizers in coordination with the provincial government of Ilocos Norte. The proclamation rally is expected to draw thousands of Ilocano supporters from all 23 towns in the province. Local officials including Governor Matthew Marcos Manotoc, Vice Governor Cecilia Araneta Marcos, Presidential son and 1st District Representative Congressman Sandro Marcos, and 2nd District Representative Angelo Marcos Barba are expected to attend. To ensure the security of the crowd and guests, approximately 1,200 law enforcers have been assigned to maintain peace and order around the venue.
Mayroon po tayong 1,200 na personnel na itinalaga para po magbantay dito sa venue, doon po sa routes, traffic routes, even crowd control and management. Okay? Even doon pa lang sa pagdating ng ating mga bisita, doon sa kanilang billeting areas as well as doon sa airport ay nakahanda na po kami.
Obar also reminded the audience of the prohibited items they cannot bring into the venue, such as bags, tumblers, sharp objects, lighters, and vapes to avoid delays at the reception area. He assured that there will be a security check before anyone is allowed to enter the venue as an extra layer of safety. A viewing screen will also be set up at the front of the venue to accommodate the overflow crowd who wish to watch the rally. In addition to the proclamation rally, a concert will be staged to entertain the attendees. From the PIA, Ilocos Norte, Emma Guillermo, Balitang Pambansa.
Ambassador Barry Gusi, chairperson of the Gusi Peace Prize, has announced that Lanao del Sur Governor Mamintal Adjong Jr. will be the first Mindanaoan to receive the 2025 Gusi Peace Prize Award. This award-giving body often regarded as the Asian Nobel Peace Prize. Ali Oceana of the Philippine Information Agency Region 10 tells us more.
A notable leader from Mindanao with a Muslim background, Lanao del Sur Governor Mamintal A. Adjong Jr. will be the first Mindanaoan to receive the 2025 Gusi Peace Prize, an international award for peace often regarded as the Asian counterpart of the Nobel Peace Prize. The Gusi Peace Prize, established in 2002, recognizes individuals and organizations contributing to peace, humanitarian efforts, and social justice worldwide. It is named after the Gusi family, known for their advocacy of peace and social change. It is one of the world's most prestigious honors, recognizing individuals and groups who have made profound contribution to peace, human rights, and global progress. This award is not just a symbol of achievement, but a powerful affirmation of the values that unite humanity. Governor Adjong's nomination stemmed from his actions during the 2017 Marawi siege. His initiatives include peace-building programs, livelihood assistance for affected communities, and the creation of the Provincial Committee on Women, Peace, and Security. He has worked to reintegrate former violent extremists into society through education and community-based initiatives.
Unknown to many, he has done his best to protect his people. And his political governance is admired not only in Mindanao but the whole nation. Another thing, his compassion to the people, how he touched the lives of the people, genuinely kind-hearted.
The award ceremony will take place in November in Manila, where Adjong will join other distinguished laureates from countries such as Colombia, Brazil, Russia, the United States, Thailand, the United Kingdom, Australia, and Argentina. From Philippine Information Agency Region 10, Ali Oxenia for Balitang Pambansa.
In a continuing effort to support communities affected by conflict, a recent government initiative in Cotabato Province provided residents with vital services like animal vaccinations, dental care, and free rice. Christian Matuliano from the Philippine Information Agency Socsargen tells us more.
Barangay Gayola residents in Quinapawan City, Cotabato Province were recently the recipients of the Serbisyong Totoo Caravan of the provincial government and the Socsargen's Joint Regional Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict or JRTF-LCOC. Barangay Gayola was the second community this year to receive the services under the government's ongoing efforts to reintegrate areas that were once impacted by rebel activity.
We are so thankful tungod kay daghan kay nagserbisyo nga amo ang na benefits, no? Unang-una ang among mga kahayupan o naindikan ang among mga kayo, anti-rabies, natagaan o mga vitamins ang among mga manok o ako mga hayop, no? Mga kanding, natagaan sila na puga.
The event aimed to provide not only immediate relief services but also to create long-term peace-building initiatives in the communities.
Dako kay ning pasalamatan namo sir kay labi na sa pugas. Dako kay natabang sa mo sir. Naka-abil ko kanang ipot sa kuabo, naka-dawat ko kanang seedling sa kaning protas. Daghan jud sir.
The Serbisyong Totoo Caravan is part of the continuing government's peace-building initiative under Executive Order No. 70, which implements a whole-of-nation approach to end local communist armed conflict in the country. From the Philippine Information Agency Socsargen, Christian Matuliano, Balitang Pambansa.
And for our weather update, the shear line is affecting southern Luzon and Visayas, while the northeast monsoon is affecting the rest of Luzon. Based on Pag-asa's latest monitoring, the Visayas, Bicol region, Mimaropa, Laguna, Rizal, Quezon, and Aurora may experience cloudy skies with scattered rains and isolated thunderstorms. Mindanao may also experience cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms. Metro Manila, Cagayan Valley, Cordillera Administrative Region, Cavite, Batangas, and the rest of Central Luzon can expect cloudy skies with rains. Meanwhile, the rest of Luzon will experience partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated light rains caused by northeast monsoon.
And that concludes our rundown of the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news and information from all across the nation on a Monday. From Radyo Pilipinas, I'm Joe Fernandez.
This is your trusted news source, always ready to inform and serve the Filipino people. Catch Balitang Pambansa again tomorrow at 7 a.m., 12 noon, 6 p.m., and 9:30 p.m. for more updates and developments. From Radyo Pilipinas, I'm Princess Abiba Sarikbaudak, and this is
Balitang Pambansa.